Over the years, Nepal has also managed to invent itself into a popular travel destination. Its rich natural beauty, historic attractions, and vast cultural heritage have proven to be the perfect mix between the ancient and the modern, slow-paced lifestyles and frantic city life. No wonder then that Nepal is featured high on the list of travel trends and beyond. Today, we're sharing the top 10 best things to do in Nepal that promise unforgettable experiences. From stunning natural wonders to culturally rich cities, we unveil destinations that are sure to captivate your imagination and inspire your next adventure. Starting with number 1, Kathmandu. Kathmandu, the capital and largest city in Nepal, is like no other city in the world. The decaying buildings in the heart of the city are a stark contrast to the lively atmosphere that permeates the streets. The smell of incense wafts from stores while street sellers push their goods, and people go about their daily lives, all against a backdrop of historic temples and carved statues. For several hundred years, Kathmandu was one of 3 rival royal cities, along with Bhaktapur and Patan. Situated close to each other, today these 3 almost run together. The highlight of Kathmandu has long been Durbar Square, the largest of the palace squares in the 3 royal cities and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. At number 2, Bhaktapur. Bhaktapur, the third of the royal cities, lies on the old trade route to Tibet, just outside of Kathmandu. For Bhaktapur, the trade route was both an arterial link and a major source of wealth. Its relative remoteness at the time allowed the city to develop independently and in ways that distinguished it from the other 2 cities. In contrast to Patan and Kathmandu, the population of Bhaktapur is primarily Hindu. The best place from which to begin a tour of the city is Durbar Square, where in addition to the royal palace, several temples are also situated. The whole area is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. At number 3 in our list, Boudhanath Stupa. The Boudhanath Stupa, just outside Kathmandu, is one of the largest stupas of its kind in the world and dates to sometime around the 6th century, possibly even earlier. Like Bhaktapur, it lies on the old trade route to Tibet and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The stupa itself is a symbol of enlightenment, but at Boudhanath, the symbolism is particularly clear. Each different shape represents one of the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and sphere, which are also the attributes of the 5 Buddhas. Brought together in the form of the stupa, their unity reflects abstractly the structure of the universe itself. At number 4, Pokhara. Set at the base of the foothills and surrounded by some of the highest mountains in the world, Dhaulagiri, Manaslu, and Annapurna, Pokhara is one of Nepal's most scenic cities. For trekkers, Pokhara is the gateway to the Himalayas and the starting point for treks to Jamsam and the Annapurna region. It's also a wonderful spot to relax for a bit, either before or after a hiking trip. By population, it is the 2nd largest city in Nepal after Kathmandu, but still does not feel like a big city. As you travel from Kathmandu, 200 kilometers to the east, you'll notice the much cleaner air and pleasant climate almost immediately. Lake Phua, with its cluster of lakeside hotels, restaurants, and shops, is ideal for those looking for a little relaxation. At number 5, trekking in the Annapurna region. The Annapurna region is one of the most popular trekking regions in Nepal, with options that range from a few days to a few weeks. 3 main routes in the Annapurna region intersect and combine in places, and you can opt to do a portion or a variation on the routes. The routes are well marked and easy to follow. The Annapurna circuit around Annapurna Mountain takes about 21 days to complete and is incredibly popular with people who have enough time. This route is sometimes called the apple pie circuit, of the fact that most of the tea houses along the route serve their version of fried apple pie. At number 6 in our list, Pashupatinath Temple. Dating from the turn of the 17th century, the Pashupatinath Temple is the oldest in Kathmandu and is also considered one of the most sacred in Nepal. The temple is dedicated to Pashupati, one of the incarnations of Shiva. Of the 3 gates, only the western one is open, and only practicing Hindus of South Asian descent are allowed inside. A good viewpoint of the complex for non-Hindus is located across the river. One note of caution: the monkeys that hang out around this area may look cute, but they tend to be aggressive and should be treated with caution. At number 7, International Mountain Museum. Located in the beautiful mountain town of Pokhara, the International Mountain Museum is a must-see before heading off on a trek. This very impressive modern building is a bright and airy space and houses all the information you could ever want to know about the mountains of Nepal and the people who inhabit them. 3 main galleries are spread throughout the museum, the first being the Mountain People Gallery. Here, through exhibits and a video, you'll learn about the indigenous people of Nepal and the Helambu region in particular. At number 8, Lumbini. Lumbini is famous for being the birthplace of Siddhartha Gautama, the historic Buddha, known as Buddha Shakyamuni. Situated off the main tourist track, almost 250 kilometers from Kathmandu, Lumbini is a worthwhile detour on the route from Pokhara to the Chitwan National Park. In this pilgrimage town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, there is a feeling of tranquility. Most of the visitors are Buddhist pilgrims from around the world, retracing Buddha's footsteps through the stations of his life. The Maya Devi Temple, dedicated to Buddha's mother, is believed to be the spot where Buddha was born. It contains an ancient stone relief from the 2nd century AD depicting Buddha's birth. At number 9, Helambu Trek. The Helambu region is a popular trekking area, particularly with trekking companies offering guided hikes. This is largely because it is close to Kathmandu, does not reach astoundingly high elevations, and offers some beautiful mountain scenery. For many of these same reasons, it is often touted by tour groups as being easy. However, many hikers who come here on tours find it is more demanding than they feel they were led to believe and more difficult than they anticipate. Trekking in the Himalayas is always demanding, and although it is not as high as other treks, it is still a physically demanding hike and trekkers should be in good physical condition. With that in mind, this is a beautiful trek, with stunning rhododendron trees in bloom in March and April, and it's well worth the effort. At number 10, Chitwan National Park. Chitwan National Park is the place to come to experience a different side of Nepal. This is a wonderful place for wildlife viewing, and it has a safari-type atmosphere. At an altitude of only 100 meters in some areas, much lower than Kathmandu at 1,400 meters, Chitwan has a tropical monsoon climate, quite different than what you'd expect to find in Nepal. Travelers come here to see wildlife. The park is home to rhinos, Bengal tigers, leopards, sloth bears, gaur, deer, and many other critters. Freshwater dolphins and crocodiles inhabit the rivers and streams but are rarely seen. More than 500 species of birds make Chitwan a paradise for ornithologists. Tours from the lodges take you out into the park, either on foot or more often, on elephants for close-up views of the animals. Outro. Thank you for watching Vacation Plus. We hope you've been inspired to explore new horizons and experience unforgettable adventures. Subscribe for more travel inspiration and tips. Safe travels, and see you next time on Vacation Plus.